Hi, earnings update for Nvidia. So I'll just have a quick look at recent earnings on Nvidia, see if we can find any pattern on them. So if we go through to the earnings on the 28th of August, sorry about my zooming on the screen, we can see that, can't quite see it on this one, we can see that from about mid-afternoon we have a little bit of rising. Before that we had quite green in the 15 minutes, but where we're really looking to see what's happening in the hedging is if we look at the hour. And in the hour we can see quite a strong rise coming up in the hour, heading back up towards, and we didn't have a big drop, we had a 2.8% drop, but we can see it's gone from quite a green position to quite a amber position. We have to look at these over longer periods of time, an hour or 2 hour, to see really how hedging is and how it's affecting. Let's have a look at this again. Here we can't even really see it in the 2 hour, but in the 1 hour it's really quite clear. So that's the first place that we look. The second place I like to look is in the open interest. So we'll just look at let's look at one more case. One more case is here. We've got it jumping up and then we've got it closing down, probably with the market, but what we can see is it's come off the bottom here, it's had quite a lot of buying and it's come into a heavy position. So that was on the 28th. So let's just have a look. So this is the current time series data, and we can see we've been from a very heavy position going into the 7th, and if we go back and we look at the 7th is the bottom here, and we've had heavy positioning going in, and then we've had some good buying, and then we've had this heavy positioning appearing back. I'm looking in the 1 hour still, so we can see that we've got this heaving. We've had the positions taken off, which is the buying that we see it drifting through, and then we've had more positions come off. It's got even lighter in colour here, and we've had hedging start to appear. So if we just roll that forward so we can get better colour, we can see it better with our naked eye. Roll it forward a week. We can see that we've had a lightening in these in the money positioning. Not a really strong lightening, but a little bit of a lightening compared to what we had here. And we've had a bit of a strengthening in the puts. And if we look at Nvidia close in and we look at it at say the 15 minutes, in the 15 minutes we can see this, it was the buying, then we've had this hedging coming through on the 12th. Again, we can start to see this hedging on the 11th and the 12th. We see this hedging appear in the 11th and the 12th. A little bit of a dip, a little bit more buying, and now we've got more sideways action. But the sideways action was bought in a little bit, so it's driving a little bit into an earnings bump. So it'll be interesting to watch, but it's got to be watched each day. If we went back and we had a look at the 28th of August, which was the last time that we had an earnings, we're going to put in the 28th of August, and let's go and put in the 2 weeks before. We had a very, very difficult setup to read because of the market makers. So we can see that we had a little bit of hedging, but we had a lot of calls taken off on the 28th. A very large number of calls taken off on the 28th, and not a great deal of hedging, but very, very large number of calls taken off. That's the sort of change that will send the market south. So the other things that I just quickly look at is, at the moment we've had some buying, which is reasonably bullish, but it's backed off with some hedging into this rising on Friday, which is tells me it's going to be a flatter market. Gamma is lower than it has been this last week, so we're not going to have a lot of resistance from stopping us pushing, but I still think Gamma is high compared to some other times over the recent period of the trading of Nvidia, so it may well slow it down, pushing back up. We can also see that we've got very low holdings at the moment, there's no cross hedging here. We've had no price increases. We can see that we've gone from being in the 50s up to the 60s in the DPI, and we're down now in the 30s. It's much lower. There's no new accumulation happening. But in a way, that looser market might give us some price increase above. But let's update it tomorrow. I hope that that little video helps you with your thinking going into earnings and into generally for the week what that might lead us into for the earnings and the indexes for this trading week starting on the 17th.